GCSE Chemistry is hard, but as someone who managed to achieve a grade 9 in chemistry, I'm here to make it easy. So, the first thing you need to do is to understand your content. The main issue with chemistry is that for the average person, when you look at a chemistry textbook, you will look at it and not have a clue what is going on because there's all these formulas, all these symbols, all these things we don't understand. So the main thing that hinders our progress is our understanding. If we do not understand electrolysis, go and learn how electrolysis works. If you don't understand the Haber process or titration, something like this. Any process within chemistry we need to fully understand. So what I recommend is there's these videos on YouTube from Science Shorts which cover all of chemistry for paper 1 and paper 2. There's these 4 guides which cover everything within a short period of time, and I recommend that you watch these because they've also been made for each exam board, so you can watch that for whatever exam board you are doing. And that is helpful because first of all we can get our understanding down, and secondly we can start to create resources to actively recall. So what I would do and what I did for my GCSEs was I would watch these videos, the 4 guides for chemistry by the Science Shorts channel on YouTube, and I would go onto algoapp.com, which I will link in the description down below, and I would go onto this website for which you can make free flashcards and as many as you want. I made flashcards for all of chemistry paper 1 and all of chemistry paper 2, and this was helpful because not only was I learning and going over the content, I was able to make a resource which would make it easier to memorize. Because other than understanding, I would say the main issue with chemistry is memorizing, because there's just so much different stuff to memorize. There's all these formulas, all these specific reactions and things. You need to memorize all of it to get a grade 9. And so I recommend flashcards heavily. This is what will get you the grade 9 because you will be memorizing everything. Now, another thing you can use is school resources or Seneca. If you are given a school resource from your school, for example, a booklet going over all of paper 1 and a booklet going over all of paper 2, please use that because it should cover all the content and it should do it with description and detail, so you can not only understand it but you create a resource with detail. This is the ideal situation because there's no point memorizing something if you don't remember the whole process and you can't write down everything you need to get all the marks. So please make your flashcards as detailed as possible, if possible, using your school resources, and try to not just rely on these YouTube videos because they do help because they cover all the content, but they don't cover it in detail, and that is where you get more marks. So make these flashcards urgently. I sat down and did it in 2 or 3 hours. You can do it too. It's not that difficult. Just wake up, and the first thing you should do is to make these flashcards. This is a productivity technique. This will make it so much faster. Trust me on this. I did it 100 times during my GCSEs, and it helped so much with my productivity and getting so much content down in such little time. So wake up and do nothing, but the first thing is to go and make these flashcards. Do this hard task of making flashcards for all of paper 1, all of paper 2. It will take a couple of hours, but once you get this done, that is a burden off your back, because it will help so much. You can refer back to those flashcards again and again, up to 100 times a day when you make an account using Anki app. And if you want to do more flashcards in a day than 100, make multiple accounts and connect them to the same deck. This is what I did. This is a sort of hidden strategy, and you can use this to get that content down, get that memory of the knowledge down for your GCSE exams for chemistry. Now, another thing to realize is there's a lot of marks in the GCSE chemistry papers which are easy marks, easy multiple choice, easy. The multiple choice questions you answer by knowing your content fully and with detail, and that is where that comes in. Another thing which you can do is just by memorizing formulas for example, quantitative chemistry, and other formulas, for example, for range and uncertainty, the basic formulas that we're expected to know, we can pick up easy maths marks in our GCSE chemistry exam, and that will help a lot. So what I want you to do, I don't want you to drop a single maths mark in the GCSE chemistry exam. It's not difficult. Just memorize a few formulas for your chemistry exam. Just memorize how the electron stuff works with the +2 and the -2 symbols and stuff, your moles, mass, and MR formulas, all that stuff. Memorize all those formulas and you will pick up easy maths marks in your GCSE chemistry exam, and that will help you towards getting a grade 9. Now, another thing to do is to, if at this point you're still not sure, you're still thinking about a certain topic which you don't understand in chemistry, really just focus on understanding this and then focus on making a flashcard on it. You really, the thing about chemistry is, we don't come out of the womb expected to know how to do anything in chemistry. Like, it's not natural. We have to learn all of this ourselves. So if you don't understand it, make sure you get that understanding down. Watch videos online on this topic, or go to any other resource and understand the topic fully. Get your understanding down, and in whatever words, whatever phrasing you understand it by, make a flashcard on that so you can understand, so you can memorize that understanding as well. Now, another thing people don't really mention, or people forget to revise, are the practicals. Memorize your practicals, memorize your methods for making different salts and stuff, the things you do in chemistry. Memorize your titration, memorize your electrolysis, all these different things which you have to memorize. Make flashcards on these as well. Make flashcards on all the required practicals for GCSE chemistry. This is what I did, and it helped me. Now you might be thinking, won't a flashcard on GCSE on a whole practical be kind of stupid because you can't memorize it all? Trust me, you can. If you are focused and you're doing this flashcard, all these flashcards with focus, and you're reading step by step but the practical, and you read that flashcard over and over and again, because that's the whole point of flashcards. You do them over and over and over again until you memorize it. That's how you can still do this with the practical, even if it's a long process. So practicals, you need to memorize them. Science Shorts YouTube channel also has a video on all the required practicals for chemistry, so refer to that. And if not, just go through your notes. You should have made something during your 2 years of learning your GCSEs for chemistry. You should have made some notes on some practical. So if you go through all your pages in your book and all that, you should see where a practical comes up. You should see that there is some sort of practical or some sort of process which you need to know. and then just search up on YouTube or refer to your notes and understand that practical fully step by step how it works, because the worst thing which can happen in an exam is you get to some 6 marker and asking you for practical you don't, and the method which you don't even understand or remember. So prepare for this. You can also prepare by simply doing 6 mark questions over and over, because they will prepare you for the real ones in the exam and you can get better at them. My advice for 6 markers, what I personally used to do, is if I remember the topic, I would think, okay, this question is 6 marks. It's asking for 6 different things. Let me give it those 6 different things. I have to get 6 different things down, and I would basically waffle so much about a certain topic, the topic I know it's asking for, and eventually all the waffling would add up to 6 different marks, because I've written that many things. This is the same for 4 markers, same for 2 markers, same for 1 markers. If it's 2 marks, you know you have to write 2 things. If it's 3 marks, you know you have to write 3 different things. The mark schemes in GCSE Chemistry and really any science, even at A level, are quite simple, because they are they're a very simple process of, okay, you write one thing, that's 1 mark, another thing, that's another mark. It's just the thing is you need to know what those 2 marks are, and this is for any question in any science. So the way to know the mark scheme, and this is some shit they won't really tell you. No one really says to you for getting a grade 9 in sciences or even chemistry specifically, but knowing your mark scheme, you can do past papers to a point where you know the mark scheme, you know the phrasing which they're going to ask you for. That's the kind of level of mastery you can achieve if you keep on doing past papers after doing your flashcards and covering your content fully. If you've covered your content fully, do a bunch of past papers, you will get to the point of mastery, because you will understand what the mark scheme is going to say. You'll get to the point where when you go into your actual exams for GCSE Chemistry, you're going to know, okay, this is a 2 mark question. These are the 2 things they must be asking for, and then you write them down. And you know in your mind that this is going to get you 2 marks. And you know in your mind for every question that you do, okay, this thing I've written, that's going to get me marked. This thing I've written, that's going to get me marked. You can count up exactly where you go wrong, because that's where you don't remember something. Where you do remember something perfectly, you know you've gotten that mark. And that's the level of security, that's the level of mastery you want to aim for getting a grade 9 in GCSE Chemistry. This is the way you can do it. And honestly, the only barrier right now is just the fact that you haven't put in the work and done everything I've said right now. Once you've done all this work, once you've done the flashcards, covered all the content, done the past papers, you should be able to smash your exams. You should be able to get the grade 9 in your GCSE Chemistry and, make it easier for yourself. This is how to get a grade 9 in GCSE Chemistry.